Hello, welcome to the National Baseball League. Alright, so I just did today's game. I'll do the highlights later and stuff, but here are yesterday's games. I made the board earlier, so yeah, my voice my voice a bit tired, so I'm going to be speaking a bit quiet, but so then we'll go top to bottom, left to right real quick. So the Vancouver Grizzlies and the Edmonton Eagles from yesterday. This is the first game. I just covered game 2. This was game 1 last night. Pretty close game, but the Grizzlies, they jump out on top 5-4, and they take a 1-0 seriously with this win. The Edmonton Eagles struggled offensively, especially at the wrong times. Right when they need to get that shut down, they just didn't. I've used this before. They crumbled under pressure. They folded, which could not do. Which the problems in this game seem to get worse in the game I just covered, but we'll get there. Then we into the Albuquerque Aliens and the San Francisco Firebirds. First of a 3-game set between the two ball clubs. Aliens, really good win here. 11 runs, 12 hits, and an error with the win over the San Francisco Firebirds, with the Firebirds get 5 runs and 10 hits, no errors. So Albuquerque, really good job offensively. They're getting good hits. They're not bloop singles. They're runners left on base. They're bringing runs home, and they're doing a good job on it. With 11 runs scored in this game, they take a 1-0 series. Like, good on them. Firebirds struggling with defense a little bit on their side. Then we head to the Aviators and the Minnesota Northern Lights. First of a 3-game set, good way to bounce back after getting swept by the San Diego Seals. Good way to bounce back for the Columbus Aviators. 9 runs scored, a 9-1 win over the Minnesota Northern Lights. 9 runs, 11 hits, and an error, but their defense was fantastic. Their offense was fantastic. Great job all around with the 9-1 win for the Aviators. Then we head to the Oakland Ocean and the St. Louis Stars. First of the 3-game set. As the Ocean win, and they shut them out 4-0. On 11 hits, no errors. Stars helped with just the 4 hits. They couldn't bring a single run home. Good job for the Oakland Ocean. It's a good way to get the series started. Then we head to Portland and Tampa Bay. So first of the 3-game set as well. Like every single one of these. And the Tampa Bay Titans here, pretty good offense, but their defense struggled at the wrong times, and they couldn't find a response. And the Portland Anchors, really good job offensively, and they shut down the Titans. Meanwhile, the Titans couldn't answer back after they blew it. And nothing. So Anchors took the 4-3 lead. Titans, no response. Anchors win. They lead the series 1-0. Then we ended Detroit with the Detroit Motors. That was the first of a 3-game set against the Boston Whalers. And the Whalers, here, similar to like Tampa Bay, they struggled at the wrong times, or Edmonton. Very, very similar to Edmonton. They struggled at the wrong times. Motors took advantage and they won the game 3-2 as it was a surprising loss. Whalers they didn't look like themselves last night in that game against the Detroit Motors. So, good way to start the series for the Motors. Then we had the New York Knights being hosted by the New Orleans Gators in New Orleans, Louisiana. So the Gators here, pretty good defensively, but their offense struggled the whole game. So they really couldn't make up for anything they did give up, and they lose the game 2-1 to the New York Knights. So the Knights, they did a great job defensively in this game. Gets them win 2-1 over the Gators. And they lead the series 1-0. Then we head to Texas. We head to San Diego for the San Diego Seals and the Texas Twisters. And the Seals, they just came off a sweep of the Aviators. And get it, it's Texas. Texas is very good. They struggled offensively. They lose 4-2, 2 runs, 10 hits for the San Diego Seals. Texas Twisters, not a lot of hits, but their hits are good hits. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Seals either. Good way to start the series for the Twisters offensively. And defensively, they shut down the Seals late in the game as well. They lead the series 1-0. Good start for Texas. Then we head to the Chicago Railers and the Las Vegas Gamblers. First of a 3-game set, a pretty close one in this one, but the Railers, they prevail with a 6-5 win. Very close one, probably a walk-up win, 9 hits both teams. Railers with a win, 6-5. Fun way to open the series with a close victory 6-5 over the Las Vegas Gamblers. Chicago, they seem to be on the uptick. So, I'll keep an eye on this series. This is the one I covered last night, the Utah Raptors and the Memphis Blues. First of a 3-game set between the two ball clubs and the Utah Raptors with a 3-2 win. As the Memphis Blues, they struggled in the bottom of that 12th inning. They struggled. And one hit because they gave up a real big hit. There was already a runner on first, and then they let them to go all the way home. Since that would have been an RBI triple. That's what that would have been. But he didn't need to go third because the game was over. Great start to the Raptors. And this breaks an 8-game losing streak as well. Fantastic win for Utah. They only had the final game yesterday because there was only 11 games. Final game from last night, the Philadelphia Liberty and the Atlanta Arrows. Arrows struggled offensively. They couldn't score. Similar to who is it? Similar to Memphis because they struggled scoring a lot. The Gators, very similar. They're struggling. I like comparing two different teams on the same day to each other. I don't know why, but it works so you understand. Okay, this because the Gators and the Arrows, they happen to be in the same division, and they're both pretty good teams. Arrows especially, but they struggled against the Philadelphia Liberty. They struggled to score runs, just 1 run, 3 hits, and they made a defensive mistake that probably aided in them losing the game. Liberty good start of the series with a 3-1 win. They shut down the Arrows just around the run. Liberty take a 1-0 series lead, and that pretty much does it for yesterday's recaps. And I'm Thomas, your host. See you later. Goodbye.